What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of La Banca podcast in English. I'm your host, Mark, aka Marquinho, aka Che Segovia, alongside my co-host Aurelio. What's going on, bro?
Not much here. I'm trying to get this nightcap going.
Yeah, man. It's an interesting thing, with the Spanish and English show back to back, man. We're gonna have to find a way to facilitate both, so that way we're not staying up late nights. This is probably like the late show with La Banca podcast. But man, an eventful past couple of days, in the world of soccer. Obviously, we know Champions League quarterfinals first legs are underway. Four really good, exciting matches. I think neither one of the matches really disappointed. Maybe one of them, but in my opinion, I think I really enjoyed all four matches. So that's going to be the first topic, obviously, that we're going to jump into here, going off with the Champions League. The first match we want to talk about Tuesday's matchups. Real Madrid versus Liverpool. Well, actually, you know what? Let's save that one. We'll talk about that one second. We'll talk about Man City, Borussia Dortmund first and foremost. Borussia Dortmund, Man City ended up in a 2-1 score. Goals by Kevin De Bruyne and Philip Foden, and a goal by Marco Reus. An important away goal. Hey, what's going on, little man? What's going on, bro? You enjoyed it? You decided to enjoy our threesome? But no, man, perfect timing. We're talking Champions League. We're talking about Tuesday's matches. The first match we're coming up to is Man City, Borussia Dortmund. Aurelio, obviously, I know you follow the Premier League a lot, and we know that the fantastic form that Man City has been in. Do you find it a bit disappointing, the 2-1 score that they had against Borussia Dortmund, or do you think Borussia Dortmund is a beast waiting to get woken up?
It's hard to say, because Man City has always played very well in the league, and usually when it gets into the quarterfinals and semifinals, Man City has had trouble with Pep. I was surprised. I was surprised that they didn't play as good as I thought. But I wasn't surprised the possession of the ball. What they were trying to do is play their typical game, is having possession of the ball, moving it from side to side. And when you do that, you're pretty much killing Holland.
No, go ahead.
So you pretty much you kill Holland. So it's hard for them to play their game when, of course, they don't have the ball. But that goes in favor of Man City. But just the way they weren't able to get that final 3/4 of the field, they weren't able to concrete.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pep Guardiola obviously went with a plan to basically make Holland their focal point. And obviously it showed with the attack being a little bit lackluster from Borussia Dortmund's side. Obviously like the first 75 minutes of the game, actually, to be honest. Little man, I'm gonna ask you a question, man. I asked this question to Aurelio. I don't know if you got a chance to hear it, but do you feel a little bit disappointed or underwhelmed by the 2-1 score that Manchester got against Borussia Dortmund at home?
From what we have been seeing from Man City, just like we talked about this a few shows ago. Man City basically is way ahead by points of all of his opponents on the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
So he should not have a problem of he should be 100% focused on this competition. But like it always happens at Pep Guardiola, those goals from the back, they always come back at this time. At this time, he has lost against Tottenham. He lost one, and then he lost the other one against Monaco as well at this level. So this is not the first time that happens at Pep Guardiola. So those ghosts are following him behind are like, well, I'm pretty sure he's pretty scared. The result, he tried to cover up Holland. It was a good strategy, but I mean, if you're trying to focus on one guy, you're always going to leave open some other guys. And
yeah,
just pretty much Marco Reus, with all his experience, he knows what to do, and Holland just gave him a magnificent pass. And not to forget that Man City won this game at the 90th minute.
It's a win that kind of feels like a loss, in my opinion, because obviously, with the heroics of the young Phil Foden, to score that late game winner, or otherwise we'd be going back to Germany tied 1-1. It's a little bit underwhelming because you basically took out Haaland for 80-90% of the game. He wasn't nowhere effective. Obviously, the pass he made to Marco Reus and the golazo that he scored, obviously gave Borussia Dortmund a lot of momentum and gave them a lot of spirit to know that they can hang. I mean, they were hanging in the game the whole time. We didn't really see that dominant Manchester City that we've been seeing in the Premier League. That's the game that I think they kind of went away from. And like you said, the ghost of quarterfinals past might be haunting Pep Guardiola a little bit right now, and it's going to be an interesting match, next week when they go back to Germany to play at Borussia Dortmund's home. So, I think it's one of those matches that we really got to keep a close eye to because they could easily go wrong for Manchester City and it could really go well for Borussia Dortmund, especially because, we know they're fighting in their league. So they're obviously, trying to keep the competition going and fight for every win that they can in their domestic league. And Man City, let's be honest, they're kind of coasting because, they're winning their league by 15, 16 points right now. Right. They're coasting. They don't really have nothing to look forward to besides the Champions League, and the Carabao Cup final. And I think they're in the semis of the FA Cup as well. So, but, I think they're kind of coasting along. So, but let's go on to the second match from Tuesday, man. And I know it's a match that Little Man has a lot to say about. And it's Madrid versus Liverpool. A 3-1 win in Madrid for Real Madrid over Liverpool. A double by Vinicius Jr. and a goal from Mohamed Salah on Liverpool's side. I think the third goal was scored by Marco Asensio, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I'll start with you on this one, obviously, because this is your team. What are your thoughts on Madrid? I mean, finally, somebody who is not named Benzema scores a goal for Madrid, and they really look good out there, man. What are your thoughts on maybe some help finally coming Benzema's way as far as the scoring Barton goes?
Well, obviously it's in this game the big name they came up. It was Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. Before the FIFA the national team week, they were playing. Vinicius Jr. was playing very good, very, very, very good, and I was amazed that he kept it. He has a pretty good rhythm. Vinicius has been in everybody's mouth by saying that he's going to get traded for Mbappe. He has not been living to the expectation they wanted it for Real Madrid as a Real Madrid player. But man, he played a hell of a game, and their reception was excellent. Both receptions were awesome. And I know many of y'all said that Real Madrid midfield was done, and that we had Sergio Ramos that he was out by injury, and then you had Carvajal that was out by injury, and then the morning of Tuesday you had Rafael Varane that was out because he had contact with a COVID-19 person, and then he ended up being positive. So now we had to play with Militao and Nacho in the center, and then we play with the other French guy. What's his name? I can't remember his name, but yeah, they end up putting up pretty well. I mean, Real Madrid had played a hell of a game. They dominated from beginning to the end to Liverpool, and I was clearly amazed. I thought it was going to be the closing, but that 3-1, that 2-1, I was kind of because 2-1 is still kind of tight. That go away goal, it counts a lot. It counts a lot. But at 3-1, it comes out to give you something to play with. A little bit more comfort in your zone to come out a little bit more comfort. You have a little bit of a lead, to come out and play. And to be honest, I mean, I didn't prepare him a game. This is the competition that Real Madrid was made for. Let's not forget that. That's what they're the 13 champions of this league.
You're never gonna stop saying that, are you? But so Aurelio, and let me go for to you to the other side. Obviously that goal that Mohamed Salah scored, is a very important away goal, for them, obviously, because it doesn't put a huge burden on them. They can go to Anfield at home and win 2-0 and move on to the semifinals, which is a very, very realistic score. It's not nothing crazy. What do you think the chances are for Liverpool to actually accomplish that and move on to the semifinals?
For them to have a chance to accomplish something like that, they would have to reinvent themselves, because the way they played was horrible.
Yeah.
I was not expecting them to play like that. Big props to Real Madrid. They played a very, very good game. They came out. They were the hungrier team, and they showed it on the field.
For sure.
So massive respect for the way they played. Is it possible? Anything's possible at the end of the day. It's soccer. It's something that we know that can happen. Will it happen?
Who knows?
It's gonna take. I'm gonna have to see the first 15, 20 minutes of the next game, and see what they're able to do. But right now, I think Real Madrid just played much, much better, and I don't see them surpassing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those crazy things that, when it comes to Champions Leagues, Zidane gets in the locker room and says, "Hey, this is a final," and these guys, they get up and they play like the Real Madrid that everybody expects them to play, right? I don't put it past Liverpool to accomplish it. I see it as a little bit more difficult than what it really is, because, like I said, to win 2-0 at home, it's not something crazy. It's something that happens a lot, right? Especially for a strong team like Liverpool. But if it's going to be the Liverpool that showed up this past Tuesday, then yeah, that's not going to happen, man. But obviously we all know what great coach Jurgen Klopp is. I'm pretty sure he's going to make some of his adjustments.
Mark. Okay, so which team of Liverpool you want them to show? You want the Liverpool they play against Real Madrid Tuesday, or you want the Liverpool they play the Premier League? Which one do you want?
Both of them are not doing well right now. I mean, look, man, look. Look. I mean, obviously, we know Liverpool isn't the Liverpool they are. They have a ton of injuries. Obviously, the same thing with Madrid, right?
Mark, they were equal injuries.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is, like, this season has been a little bit crazier for Liverpool than what it has been for Madrid, and let's not kid ourselves. The Premier League is a little bit tougher league than La Liga, right? But it's one of those things where obviously injuries are going to happen to every club. It's not an excuse for Liverpool or Madrid. Madrid, with all the injuries that they had, they overcame it and they played a hell of a game. I think it was one of their best games all season, if not the best game I've seen them play all season. They really played together as a team, and it really shows what type of talent and what type of firepower they have if everybody gets on right, and especially if you got your wing players Asensio and Vinicius scoring, that's going to create a whole bunch of different dynamics for Real Madrid going forward if that continues to be the case.
We need to come up.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that they need to show on this game. Those are the guys that are the young guys. Let's not forget that Marcus Asensio was a guy they show a lot of promise till he had the knee injury, and it cost him a little bit much to come back, But now he's beginning a lot of more player. And this what happened Tuesday. The quickness to know that there was going to be a mistake and get that ball and then score. I think that was excellent. He played a hell of a game. And Vinicius, I mean, he's a young guy, but still, I mean, when you get bought by a big club, of course they expect for you to show up in big games, and he has been showing up lately. And so now we have a little dilemma of should he be traded or not be traded? But I mean, he played a hell of a game.
Well, I mean, he has 2 months to prove to the board of directors in Madrid to persuade them whether or not to keep him or send him away. But let's move on to Wednesday's matches, guys. The first game we're going to talk about is our brother Fidel's Chelsea Blues versus Porto. A 2-0 win in Portugal for Tuncho's Chelsea squad. Mason Mount scored the first goal, and Ben Chilwell scored the last goal over in the 88th minute. Guys, you think this is it? You know, Chelsea's going on to the next round. They play in London next week. Obviously, Porto, you know, what a run they had. And like I said, like I've mentioned before in prior shows, I don't think this is one of the strongest Porto sides that we've seen in recent history or recent years. But, you know, for the fact that they've made it this far into the quarterfinals with the lack of, you know, talented players that they have compared to the other teams in the quarterfinals, it's an amazing run. Do you think this is where it stops, or do you think Porto has one last gas of magic to reverse this and pull the upset in London and move on to the semifinals? Aurelio, I'm gonna ask you first, man. What are the chances for Porto to move on to the semifinals?
I think they're very slim. I don't see them pull it off. They had a couple chances at home and they weren't able to finish them. They were playing very, very good. I was surprised the way Porto came out. It just they were lacking the finishing touch. And if you don't have somebody that can get you at least a goal on a game like this, being 2-0 and especially being 2-0 on away goals, I don't see them coming up.
Let me ask you this question, little man. I'm gonna ask you this question because if you look at the starting 11 for Chelsea, one player of note, surprisingly, that didn't start. They started Kai Havertz, the $70 million man that they brought over for Bayern Leverkusen, you know, from the Bundesliga. But they sat down Oliver Giroud, who in the Champions League, that man is playing like Brazilian Ronaldo. You know, at that number 9 for it in the Champions League. That guy is scoring the goals. I don't know what he eats during Champions League weeks, but whatever he's doing, he needs to keep doing it because he's out there like a maniac scoring goals for Chelsea. And to be honest, the reason why Chelsea has made it this far, you know, because of Oliver Giroud. But the fact that he was on the bench, were you surprised to see him start on the bench?
Not really though, because I mean, he has been coming up doing a great job, but I think if Tuchel decided to go for him because he has been improving in practice. Now, remember what they say: what you improve in practice, what you do in practice, it reflects a lot what you do in the field on the official game. So, I don't think Porto has a chance. I think they had a great game. They had 2 great games against Juventus, but I mean, Juventus it's not a good team, you know, not a good team, and they barely beat Juventus. So I'm not surprised by Chelsea.
Go ahead.
We said here that we talk about here that I kept on telling you that the coach, they need to switch coach from Lampard. Lampard was not doing a good job, and I kept on saying the coach. Now they got a new coach. Now they got a new system. The players like the new system, and seems like Chelsea is going on the right way to make it to the semifinals. They basically got a foot and a half inside the semifinals.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm going to agree with you guys. I don't think Porto has a very slim chance to none to qualify for semifinal. I think Chelsea got in the bag, but wouldn't it be something? Wouldn't it be something if they reversed it and they went to London and actually won and advanced to the semifinals? I know we would have a field day on Fidel the next show. You know,
I mean, if they lose the second game, man, it's
no. I mean, Chelsea can lose 1-0. It's fine, but I'm saying,
I know, but like 3-0. Which is the one that that will eliminate them by 3-0.
Yeah, or 2-0 and go to penalties and losing penalties.
Right,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, it could happen. I'm like, it's not an impossible.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
I just think that the way Chelsea has been playing pretty good.
If that happened, Mark, it's gonna be between you and Fidel, who has the worst.
Yeah, but let's move on to the last, but not obviously not least, the main course of the quarterfinals. Last year's finals, the rematch, PSG versus Bayern Munich. PSG won 3-2 in Germany. That's a huge advantage for PSG, scoring 3 goals in Germany. Obviously, the away goals are very cost a lot in this tournament.
Yes.
Obviously a great game by Mbappe, a double, 2 goals from Mbappe, a great game from Neymar, 2 assists from Neymar. But in my opinion, man, the man of the match has to be Keylor Navas, the legend himself. Great game. I mean, Bayern Munich didn't lose this game because they didn't play like Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich lost this game because Keylor Navas had one of those legendary games that he has from time to time, and he stopped a lot of goals for
hell of a keeper.
Yeah, hell of a keeper.
Hell of a keeper, man.
A little man. Let me ask you a question, man. Do you think Bayern Munich can go into Paris and reverse this, man, and at least 1-0? Well, no. That wouldn't even work. They would have to win. They would have to win. They have to win 2-0 at least to
exactly
to go by. How do you think?
And not receive?
What position does this put the defending champs in, man? Do you think that it's going to be difficult for them to get by, man? I mean, especially going at home. But if any team can do it, we all talk about how complete Bayern Munich is and how much of a monster they are. But without Lewandowski, man, those goals missing was very notable on that game. They play like a complete team. Obviously, they attacked and they put the ball in the 18 and they gave all the passes that needed to go. But like I said, Keylor Navas was stopping everything, and you didn't have the top number 9 in the world, Lewandowski, to put those goals in the back of the net. What do you think the chances are for Bayern Munich to move on to the semifinals?
I think the chances are always open. I mean, there's nothing definite on any series to the end, to the 90-minute, and so I said here that the 50% of the goals for Bayern Munich came from Robert Lewandowski, and I said that the PSG are out there coming to play. Kylian Mbappe is not a promise anymore. This guy's a reality. This guy's hungry. This guy wants it. He wants to make a name for himself. He wants to win a Ballon d'Oro, and I think he's going the right direction. He wants to carry this team. He wants to do Cristiano Ronaldo or Michael Jordan. He wants to carry the team on his back and go like, guys, I got you to this. Keylor Navas, I will say this once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 8 times. This guy is a hell of a keeper. He has nothing that you can say by Star Stegen and Thibaut Courtois. Nothing. This guy is really good keeper. I have no idea why Real Madrid let him go. I think, in my personal opinion, as a Real Madrid fan, it was a big mistake. I think that was a keeper. It was a keeper to be kept inside the house. With that being said, Bayern Munich was just being a German team. A German team never dies.
Yeah.
Never dies. It keeps on fighting to the end, and that's what happened. If it wasn't for Keylor Navas, I think it would have been a 3-3. It was a 2-2. But at the end of the day, Kylian Mbappe came out and put it out there. For the second game, I think the momentum will keep on going. I think it's gonna be a tough one, but I think PSG is gonna pull it out.
Alright, let me ask you this. Obviously a 3-2 advantage, especially winning at the away stadium, is a big advantage, right? But I'm gonna see it from a different point of view, and maybe you can see it this point of view as well, because obviously we're both familiar with Pochettino being the head coach from Tottenham. We're both Arsenal fans, but could this advantage take them away from them playing their game the way they are and be super extra defensive at home? And worrying about just making it through and trying to advance, survive and advance or whatever. Obviously in a perfect world, they would go home and play their game, and if they win, they win, great. If they lose, then they just lost to the better team. But do you think there's a possibility where Pochettino says, you know what, we need to make sure they don't score. We need to make sure they don't score. We're gonna play ultra defensive, and we're gonna just attack when we get the chance, the opportunity on a counter attack.
You can't play like that.
I know you can't play like that, but I mean,
I'm like, you're just inviting to get beaten.
Mm-hmm.
you're inviting the team to attack you. You're inviting them to pretty much do as they please in your house. You have to play the same kind of game you played the first game. You have to be that hungry. You have to attack. You're gonna have to want it more. You're gonna want that revenge.
Yeah.
I guess you want to call that, you want that revenge of them beating you in the final.
Mhm.
You want to have the revenge of you taking them out of the champions.
Now, the reason I bring that up because I mean, Little, and you were there with me when we were watching the 16 PSG and Barcelona. The second game between Barcelona and PSG was not playing the same way they played the first game.
Right.
Barcelona was attacking. PSG looked comfortable with the fact they had a lead. They had the 4-1 lead. You know, obviously it's a bigger margin of lead, right? But let's be honest. And Little Man, you were there with me again. The game Barcelona played, if Barcelona would have taken complete advantage of the opportunities and scored the goals that they needed to be scored, we'd probably be talking about Barcelona versus Bayern Munich right now. You know?
Absolutely. And I totally agree with you. It was a whole different PSG from the PSG that play at Barcelona. They were there just to defend themselves. I think if they're gonna try to do that, basically, I mean, all these second games are kind of the same, except when they're going to be kind of the same, except for the Porto and Chelsea, because Porto is going to be in the house. But Real Madrid is going to almost play the same game. They're going to have to kind of defend themselves. The situation is that if you attack, that's when you attack, you're going to take a big risk. And those big risks are they going to be against you or we're going to be with you. I think that if PSG is going to go out there and try to defend themselves against a German team, they might not have the same luck because it's not the same. I mean, if they have Robert Lewandowski, who's at 50% of the goals that they score, it's going to be kind of hard. So I think PSG needs to go out and do what they were doing this time, play.
Yeah.
And if it comes out, it comes out. And if it doesn't, well, you know, you got to keep on practicing.
Yeah, obviously. Obviously Lewandowski is a huge piece missing. In my opinion, if Lewandowski was playing in the second game, I would give them a very fresh, maybe a 50-50.
Remember from the rhythm. It has to be rhythm.
But but who, when you a number 9 is a number 9, they don't really move around a lot like that, But still, I think it's a shame that Lewandowski couldn't play, and properly defend their title. But kudos to PSG. I mean, like I said, they only had 6 shots on goal and they made 3 of them. So I mean, when you're gonna score on 50% of your shots on goal, I mean, you're gonna win a lot of games. So props to those guys. I'm very excited for the away match, man. So, but yeah, man, guys, obviously that's gonna take a huge chunk of the show today. But moving on to the next topic, man.
We had Magic Nights of Champions. Magic Night. That's what they call them. Magic Nights.
But
yeah, I mean,
going from something great like Champions League football, and seeing the best players in the world compete for a trophy is something amazing, right? The world soccer provides a lot of happiness and a lot of great things for us, as fans, supporters, whatever. But unfortunately, there's a bad side to soccer as well, and it's a lot to do with racism, and unfortunately we had a case of racism in La Liga this past weekend in the match of Cadiz versus Valencia and La Liga this past weekend. And it's an unfortunate part that the fact that we still have to talk about racism in 2021, man. Before I ask you guys what your thoughts on the whole thing is, I just want to state that that racism any kind of way, shape, form, in my opinion, is a complete disgrace. It shouldn't be allowed in anywhere, any country, any stadium, any pitch, any sport, etc., etc., etc. We're all equal, and we deserve the respect as equals. But guys, obviously, it's something that we still have to talk about. Unfortunately, we won't stick too long on this topic. But your thoughts, Aurelio, on the accuser, Juan Cala, the defender in Cadiz, calling I forgot his name. Sorry,
Diuncabi.
the Calvi from
Yeah.
Valencia. I won't repeat what the thing is said, but I'm sure most of y'all know what the accused has accused them of saying to him. What are your thoughts on it, man? The fact that we still have this going on in the world of soccer.
It's sad. It really is. Right after it happened, once everything was going on, you can just tell to the face of the defender that guilt, that we all know, that guilty face.
Yeah.
That you can tell him, like, he can say this, he can say that, but that just by looking at him, like I said, that's just my opinion. Just by looking at him, you can tell that he knew he did something wrong, and he got called out on it, and he didn't know he didn't know what to do, or I honestly would probably think he would probably be trying to hide. But it's sad, it's something that, it's the 21st century. I'm like, stuff like that should not be happening to begin with. It's at the end of the day, I'm like, we're all here. You're in the same profession, you have to respect each other to that point, because you both are soccer players. You both play in a league. So I'm like, that's I guess you could call that's the common thing you should all have, is you might not like the person, but you have to respect them, because at the end of the day, you are I'm not gonna say like partners, but yeah, you're on the same equal, yeah,
Profession.
the same profession, yeah. So I'm like, it's sad. I'm like, it's still happening, and I'm glad some of these people are being called out on it, because they need to. I'm like, you can't be like, I guess we could call it like the old days, and on part of our last show we were talking about it, that you should just man up about it and just stay quiet. I'm like,
nah, that's the reason why it's still available.
Yeah, I'm like, because once you do that, I'm like, the other person will be like, well, I can keep telling him whatever I want when I want, because he's not going to say anything.
Right.
Let me ask you this question, man. Let me put you in the shoes of the FA of the federation for La Liga, the Spanish federation, obviously. If you were them, what kind of punishment do you think you give Juan Cala? If and this is alleged still, we still don't know the full facts, so we don't want to jump ahead of ourselves and whatever, we reserve to see all the facts and all that stuff first and foremost before anything else. But if it is alleged to be that he did say what he said to the Valencia player, you as a federation director, what kind of punishment do you give out to really show that you really mean business about trying to end racism or eliminate racism in your league?
If it was proven that it did happen, because at this moment we don't know if it really happened. It's really between Cala and Diuncabi. It's really between them, right? Yeah. So nobody's heard it. No cameras have seen it yet. They're still investigating. I would really go for a year and take community service. That's because it's and I understand that there's talk, there's arguments that they have in soccer, like, F your mom, or your sister, or so, but it's like you encouraging other people to say it. Yeah. It's like you telling somebody else, like, hey, I did this and I got away with, so I would go for a year and community service, or take some classes, because it's amazing at this 21st century that we live in right now, 21st century, that we still got to go through this, not every week, not every weekend, but like every 3 to 4 months.
It's crazy because you said a year, and I said, wow. I was, so it took me by surprise that you said that, but that's what we need, right? Because to really show that we're serious about this. And unfortunately, like I said, if he did do it, if they really want to put the stamp on this and show that they're serious about eliminating this in their game, he might be the sacrificial lamb. He might have to be that, and it's a shame because like Aurelio said, he said that you can tell by the face that he made afterwards that he's like, oh, maybe he didn't really mean it. maybe it wasn't meant that type of way, to be taken that type of way. But Ducati was offended, and he took it as a really disgraceful thing to say to him, and if he took it that way, that's the way it was meant for him.
I mean, like the thing is, Mar, that nobody knows if he said it or not. It's between both of them.
Well, yeah, that's something.
He was like, "Why would I say that? I will never say that." I got it's like it always happens. I have African friends. I got Mexican friends. I got this. I got that. I've been around Asians. I've been so, and I've never said that. And Kala, I mean, and
it's one of those things.
I think for you, I think for you to run up to somebody and go like, "Oh, really? Why didn't you come here for a nigger full of shit?" Because that's what literally he said. I think if it was me and if Aurelio didn't tell me that, man, that's a big accusation, man. You literally sentencing somebody to being a fully racist in front of TV, in front of everybody. Everybody see this it's everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
If Dungabi is making up this, what a shame of him. And if Kala's doing this, if Kala said that,
shame on him.
I mean, there's other ways you can. I mean, there's other ways you can play with somebody else, but not. Don't call him.
Obviously, the world.
Because you know everyone. I mean, Mark, when I tell you, yeah, you freaking gay. I'm you.
Yeah.
But when I say the N word, I'm telling everybody that's from the same color. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, when you're around people that you're cool with and they know you, it's fine, But see, that's the thing. I think that's the reason why we're still having this issue, because it's something that's used so loosely. And let's not get it twisted. We know that soccer is a global sport, and a lot of cultures can get things twisted, like the whole Edison Cavani thing from beginning of the season, the way he referred to his friend on his Instagram page. It's something that can get twisted. In my opinion, do I think Cavani's a racist? No, I don't think he's a racist, but do I think the referee who called I forgot the player's name, or who called the assistant, Do I think he came with a different type of attitude or approach? Yeah, I think he came with a different type of approach. So I think he came with a more aggressive approach when it comes to that. So, but so it just, man, it's a very thin line, and something that sucks that that we're still going through in this world. But I appreciate the fact that players are standing up for themselves, especially when it comes to racism like this, and are willing to call out the person who's inflicting this racism to them. So. Captain. Yeah. So, guys, obviously, we're going to move on from this topic, but like I said, racism needs to end, it needs to, get out the sport. It needs to get out the world, honestly, and I know it's going to be it's a long battle for that. I know a lot of things, especially in this country, is happening to try to get that moved ahead, and hopefully they all achieve that, but worldwide as well, man, there's a lot of problems, in the world when it comes to racism, but yeah, it's an unfortunate event that happened during that game. The Cadiz actually ended up winning that game 2-1 over Valencia, and Cala actually scored the first goal in that game. So, but yeah, man. But let's keep on with the Liga. Let's go on with something a little bit more fun, or we'll see a little bit more fun. But some people call it the biggest game. Oh well, before we go on to that, Aurelio, I know you got to go. So, hey, guys, Aurelio, thank you for joining us, man. We'll see you next time, bro.
Thanks. And I'll be on YouTube because I want to hear this, especially between you two.
Yeah, this show might end up being an hour long because of this.
I know. All right, man.
All right. Have a good one, bud. All right, man. So obviously there's a big match this weekend. I don't know if you heard, Little. There's a big match. Some people call it, some people, they call it the biggest match in the world. Obviously there's rivalries, right? We got like Boca River Plate, that's a big rivalry match. We got America Chivas, which is a big rivalry match. We got Inter Milan, AC Milan, big rivalry match.
Right.
But a lot of people say that though none of those compare to a Clasico. And when we say a Clasico, obviously we're talking about Barcelona, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Big match, man. Big match, especially because let's update everybody on La Liga table. Atletico dropped points again. So Atletico was 66 points on top of the table currently. Barcelona, second place, 65 points.
65 points.
And Real Madrid in third place, 63 points. Right. So not only is this the biggest match, but now you're sprinkling on top. Whoever wins this match can end up being on top of the table for La Liga and put themselves in pole position to win La Liga. Which, obviously we want, me as a Barcelona fan, obviously we want to win the league every year. I know you as a Madrid fan, even though y'all don't win it as much as y'all used to, y'all want to win the league. You want to go back to back. I'm going to start with you first, obviously. And then, obviously we're going to go a little bit back and forth. Let's try not to spend 30 minutes on this, but if it's fun, it's fun. Obviously a lot of momentum going into this game. Madrid having played one of the best games that they've played in recent history, winning 3-1 against Liverpool in Champions League. Do you think that momentum carries over and they play well in this Clasico? Or do you think it's just one of those things because, it's Champions League, it's Madrid Champions League, they go together, like you say, it was the tournament made for Madrid, XYZ, all this stuff.
We made that tournament. That's the reason we made that tournament. Santiago Bernabeu made that tournament. I think there's a big momentum about this, just like you just said, just that you have said. Not only because of the Clasico, of course, the Clasico is a big motivation because they've let's just say that Atletico de Madrid just lost their forward Luis Suarez for injury for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, so he's definitely not gonna be against Real Betis. Real Betis has been playing pretty good soccer lately. They've been coming up with a few wins in straight row. So let's say whoever wins this Clasico, whoever comes victorious of these two teams, they can end up being in first place. Barcelona can go up for 2 points, and Real Madrid can be tied with Atletico de Madrid, but could be end up in first place because of goals difference.
Goal differential.
Yeah, so it's a big motivation. Now Real Madrid just came from beating Liverpool, where everybody thought they were gonna get ran over. Everybody that I know, right, Mark? They thought they were gonna get ran over.
They're gonna run them over in Anfield.
Exactly. Well, we start with the R, not with the B. With that being said, Real Madrid, Vinicius is playing great soccer. He's coming up pretty good, and I think Real Madrid could be putting up a pretty good win. Remember, if they tie, it kind of doesn't help nobody. Well, it kind of does help Real Madrid in just a little bit because now Barcelona gets Atletico de Madrid. Yeah.
So obviously, like I've stated before, any kind of Clasico, any kind of derby or whatever you want to call it, they're meant to be won, not just played. When we face Madrid, we're not going to Madrid to try to try to tie 2-2 in Madrid or 1-1 in Madrid. No, we want to go smash Madrid. We want to go win 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, whatever.
6-2, we won the first Clasico.
6-2 is fine too, But it's one of those matches where obviously there's going to be a lot of eyes on it because of everything that's on hand. This match can alter the future for a lot of people. Because
let me ask you, Mark.
Go ahead.
Are you going to be in the need of asking the refs to help you on this game or no? Or no?
Man, that I think you just lining up excuses for the loss that you're going to take on Saturday, man. But it's all good.
I just want to be prepared. I just want to be prepared.
Hey, I mean, Madrid. You said Madrid has.
Do you that help against a little team?
No. You said Madrid has 200 mil in the bank. How many millions did they give to the refs for this weekend? How much are they going to give them for this weekend?
Do you need help?
Yeah, I might need the help. But anyways, man, it's like I said, it's going to be an interesting match because Barcelona, obviously, they're running a high right now. They're the only undefeated team in league and domestic league play since 2021 started. So obviously they're in a great run of form. Messi's playing great like he always does. A lot of other players are stepping up their levels as well. Dembele, Pedri, Griezmann is showing up as well. But let's not kid ourselves as well. Like I said, Madrid is waking up as well. They finally played a really, really good match. Somebody other than Benzema finally scored for them. Let's keep that momentum going and see what happens because, like I said, this game can alter a lot of futures for both sides. Because if Barcelona ends up winning this game, they'll be on the top of the league table and pole position to win La Liga, which hopefully can happen. Then they have the Copa del Rey final against Atletico Bilbao this coming Wednesday, I believe. So, a very good opportunity to win 2 trophies in a season, which is always great to have, and that can be the result where Coleman end up staying for the next season and beyond, But let's reverse it. If Madrid somehow ends up winning, and Barcelona loses the Copa del Rey final against Atletico Bilbao and then come out trophyless again this season, it might be a short stint for Coleman, at Barcelona, and it might be a way to, boot him out and bring in the next, whoever they think needs to replace him. But the same thing for Zidane. I mean, it can be one of those things where it's an important match, but then you also got to look forward to, you have to go to Anfield on Wednesday and play Liverpool, so
Mark, this is Real Madrid. This is Real Madrid. This is why it's the biggest. This is why it's the biggest club in the world. That's the reason we are called Kings of Europe. I'm not European, but that's the reason Real Madrid is called the best club in the world. Why? Because we have this kind of schedules. Tuesday we play against Liverpool, and we end up being, and then Saturday we get to play against Barcelona, and then Wednesday we get to go to Anfield to go play. And I think we're gonna put all 3 wins.
Oh wow,
that's Real Madrid. And guess what? That was Anfield. No, that was not Anfield. That was Valdebebas. On Tuesday it was Valdebebas. It was not Anfield. And guess what? It's gonna be Real Madrid this very Saturday.
Well, I beg to differ. I think we're gonna end up smashing Madrid and in Madrid and El Estadio de Stefano, and then we're gonna go lift the Copa del Rey on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Gonna complain?
No. I mean, hey, the only ones to complain.
Are you gonna complain like a club?
What do you mean?
Oh no, that feels just
no.
I don't know what you.
Barcelona plays wherever they're gonna play, man. They don't complain. They just go and play. Hey, that's why they're undefeated this season. They go play everywhere and anywhere, and they make things happen. There's no excuses. They're paying off referees and this and that. There's no excuses. We've had injuries. That's all injuries. Everybody's not themselves.
The refs can come over. The refs, they can come over too. Come on. We'll take enough of you.
It's gonna be very exciting this weekend. Obviously, we're gonna try to see if we can live stream our reactions, during the match, to see what happens, to see, if I'm choking out Little or if he's choking me out for whatever reason. But it's gonna be very interesting this Saturday, man. It's gonna be live and it's prime time. I love it when they put the game on prime time. So that means 2:00 or 3:00 our time, depending on time zone things or whatever. So it's gonna be very fun. I think we're gonna have a good time wherever we end up watching it at. I know there's gonna be a lot of shit talking. I know there's gonna be a lot of tears on my guy over here's side. Sorry, my guy over here's side. So we'll see what happens, man. I'll try to bring an extra towel, an extra scarf or something like that. Wipe your tears away. But yeah, guys. Obviously, we don't want to get too much into it because, like I said, I know myself. I can talk for hours about Barcelona. I know Little Man can talk hours about Madrid and how much he loves them. But at the end of the day, we'll see what Saturday shows. We'll see the outcome of the match, and we'll see what happens, man. We'll see who ends up on top of the league table, or maybe it comes out a tie and Atletico Madrid ends up, thanking both of us. But before we go, man, obviously thank you guys for showing up with us. I know this English show stays up late a little bit. You know, we're trying to fix that. We're trying to accommodate that, see what we can do differently on that standpoint. But we appreciate everybody that's sticking out, watching the videos. Please, guys, if you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. You know, and please, again, like I said, like I mentioned all the times, comment, you know, let us know if you want us to talk about a specific team or specific league maybe we don't touch enough on. You know, let us know. If you don't tell us, we don't know, man. So, little man, anything you want to say before we go?
Yeah, just guys, we're not professionals. We love this. We drink, we have fun, we talk about a lot of soccer. Give us a thumbs up. To your friends. Sometimes crazy we'll talk about, but we love the sport. I love the sport. I know pretty much Mark loves it too. And Saturday is gonna be a la Madrid. Just like I said, Mark, bring you and your friends the refs, bring them over to Valdebebas, and we're gonna have a good time. Well, we're gonna have a good time with you.
All right, guys. Well, you know what, man? Have a good night, and we'll see. And we'll hopefully we'll see you Saturday, man. Forza Barça.